Hello, everybody, and welcome to the London Ice House. I'm Steve Matthews with Jim Van Horn. We are here for a game between the London Knights and the Windsor Spitfires. Jim, it's almost amazing to say at this point in the season that we have a #1 hockey team in London, Ontario. The last time that we could say that here about the London Knights, it was called the London Gardens.
Yes, that's right.
You couldn't buy beer in this joint.
The seats were blue and red, I think.
And the uniforms were green and white, and gold.
Yes, that's for sure. Things have certainly changed.
And the other thing is, the coach was a guy named Gary Agnew.
Gary Agnew. Well, Gary Agnew hasn't taken very long to put his stamp on this team, and they have a 4-point lead in the Ems division. As you see Gary pumping up the troops for tonight's game against the Windsor Spitfires, this traditional and long-standing rivalry here at the Ice House.
And we are underway. Peter Sarno took the face-off for Windsor against Richard Patiri. Mazuka takes it in for London. Chris Kelly now passes off to Patiri. Patiri knocked down and falls over his own player. These two teams played last night in Windsor, Jim, and the Knights came out on top. I don't think the Windsor Spitfires are going to take that lightly. It was a peaceful game with no penalties in Windsor last night. You think we'll see the same thing?
No. You imagine, I mean, that hasn't happened very often in all of Canadian Hockey League history, but these two teams who have been going at it for years, one of the great rivalries in junior hockey in Canada, and they've had some real rows over the years, but I will say this Windsor team doesn't look to me like they got much fight in them. This is a team that's really struggled this year, and they do have a little bit of talent, you know. Their individual talent isn't bad, but they're really having trouble working together as a team, and a lot of people are really disappointed in their performance this year.
Well, they had a couple of players who were on hiatus. Illich and Zaire left the team. They're now back with the team. They lost their coach. They now have an interim coach, Dave Perpich, and perhaps maybe a new coach coming their way in the next week or so. So things very unsettled for the Windsor Spitfires. We're in behind the Windsor goal. They come out to center, and that's a two-line pass. We get an offside with almost a minute gone in the first period of this game between the Knights and the Windsor Spitfires. Goes after it. Windsor goes for the line change. Mando is going to get a penalty. He just took a shot at Erskine, and now we got a fight between those two. Dean Mando and John Erskine, couple of heavyweights.
Couple of big guys here. Trying to get their arms free, and there's a good shot by Mando as they continue to wail away. Now Erskine. Well, I think we'll have penalties on that one.
I think so.
I think the streak is broken right there. Well, John Erskine has really established himself as one of the more rugged members of the Knights, and he's giving it to Mando right now. I think DJ Mando just decided, well, I'm going to try and wake my team up here. And
yeah, Erskine wasn't even ready for that. It was kind of a dead play, and Mando wanted to get into it. Erskine wasn't quite ready for that fight.
Well, they are both in the box now. That's got to be tiring. That was a heavyweight bout there. The boys leaning on each other, and there's Big John, and everything seems to be intact.
They got to make those helmets a little softer on the outside, though.
That's going to be tough.
Every time I see guys like Erskine pounding away on a helmet.
Starts here again. Mando looks like he's just in an ornery mood tonight, and for good reason, based on how they played last night. He gave Erskine a nice little shot to the chops there in front of the net. The play would go into the corner, and that's when the two got started with the scrap, but it's going to be an advantage to the Knights on the penalty situation, as Mando was getting the original call. Gene Chirillo, what a player he has become, what a goaltender he's been for the Knights this year. He has really answered what was, I thought, the key question coming into this year on the Knights, the goaltending, and he has just been outstanding. Thanks to the work of Jim Sidwell and Tom Hedican.
How
true. Chirillo just has really turned things around. Not that he was terrible last year, but he was just an unknown quantity. He was a rookie last year and played fairly sparingly. There's London native Ron Vogel. He's a Strathroy Junior B graduate. Ron's dad, a former CFPL television employee, and quite a story regarding those two. Ron actually saved his dad's life. His dad was having a heart attack, and Ron managed to get everything in order and call emergency and whatnot. It's a really heartwarming story about father and son. And Ronnie's second-year goaltender for the Windsor Spitfires, a London native.
Cadot has the puck, passes to Brown at the point. Now to Fata, he turns it around, tries to get it to Spiridonov. There's Cadot with the puck again. Knights on the power play right now. It's passed in front to Legault. Now Fata has it again. Rico spins around, looks for someone to pass to. There's Spiridonov in the open, can't get it across to him, so it's back to the blue line where Jeff Brown keeps it in. Now the Spitfires manage to get it out to center, and Jay Legault is forced back into his own end. Jay Legault turns around. The Spitfires go for a line change as they're on the penalty kill here. Cadot takes it in. He's put up against the boards, and it's shot out again. Here's Brown. Martin chases him. Legault to Brown. Knights having a little difficulty getting this power play going right now. Jeff Brown passes off the boards to Fata. Fata can't handle it, and it's back to Jay Legault in the London end. 4 minutes gone in the first period between the Knights and Spitfires. November 14th here at the Ice House. Steve Matthews and Jim Van Horn bringing you this game on Rogers Community TV. Ron Vogel stops the puck, and it's dumped off the boards to the blue line, then down the ice again. Gene Chirillo out of his net. Gene Chirillo playing in 18 of the Knights' 21 games so far this year, as Jimmy mentioned. Alan Hitchin out with an injury about a month and a half ago. Talking to Hitchin before the game, Jim, and he figures he'll be back next week. He's going to play with a knee brace. Oh, big hit there on Jeff Zaire. Jeff Brown took it to Jeff Zaire. Here's Zaire trying to hit back, but going nowhere with it. Crawford turns around, and it's dumped all the way down the ice. 4 seconds left in the Windsor penalty to DJ Mando. And now they'll serve their fighting majors. Erskine and Mando still in the box, serving 5 each for fighting.
Jeff Zaire took a big hit along right at the London bench there. Zaire has just returned to the Windsor lineup after a team-imposed suspension. And let's take a look at it here. And tell you what, every chance somebody gets to hit Jeff Zaire, they do. He's one of those agitator types. And if you get him lined up like that, you will notice that any other player in the OHL, maybe even some of his own teammates, will take advantage of that, because Jeff knows how to get it. He's from nearby Tavistock, a second-round pick of the Islanders, so he's definitely looking at a good future in the game. But he's one of those Ken Linsman type agitators, and boy, he can get under an opponent's skin, that's for sure.
Crawford has the puck for Windsor. Spins around, tries to go past Ugranis, can't do it. Ugranis dragged him down. Now along the boards, Mahan. Mahan fights it out with DiPetrillo. They're looking at each other. There's Lang. Metcalf keeps it in for London. Mazuka now backhands it to DiPetrillo. DiPetrillo in front looking for Jason Lang, but Lang couldn't see it. And Ron Vogel jumped on the puck. We'll have another face-off.
Well, these teams have a lot of scoring power. Really, that's kind of their forte. And in fact, we're watching the leading scorer, leading point getter at least, in the Ontario Hockey League tonight, in Peter Sarno of the Windsor Spitfires, who has 42 points, again, to lead the OHL. And of course, Mark Cadot and Jay Legault are in the top 5 with 35 and 34 points, respectively. There you get a look at Sarno, the leading scorer in the Ontario Hockey League, 42 points coming into this one.
And was Sarno not Rookie of the Year last year also?
Sure was, yeah.
There's Kip Brennan with the puck for Windsor. Windsor tough guy Kip Brennan dumps it all the way down the ice, and Alex Henry out for his first shift for the Knights. He loses the puck to Sarno. Sarno tried to center it, but it didn't go anywhere. A little bit of a miscue in the London end. Now Jeff Zaire has it, passes in front. Picked up by Barch. He passes to Spiridonov, and Max Spiridonov heads up the wing. He'll try and cut across in front. He does so and scores! Beautiful deke on the part of Max Spiridonov.
How do you like that one? Not much to analyze about that one. That move kind of speaks for itself as Max Spiridonov scores a beauty. Watch this individual effort as he just turned around the Windsor defenseman, Kip Brennan, I believe it is. Yes, it's Brennan. Now watch, Vogel comes out with the Johnny Bauer, and Max isn't fooled by that. He goes right around him and into the net for a 1-0 London lead. What a beautiful play by Max Spiridonov.
The Johnny Bauer?
Well, Johnny was the Mr. Pokecheck, you know, he used to
okay,
come
right.
out.
Okay. You got to explain these things to our younger listeners.
Yeah, that's true too. But Max Spiridonov with a beautiful individual effort to give the Knights a 1-0 lead. That was a dandy, and it's the 19th goal of the year for Max.
Way to go, Max Spiridonov. 1-0 London Knights with just about 7 minutes gone in the first period. In behind the London net, Rico Fata picks it up. He passes to center. Cadot can't get the stick on it. Here's Fata again. Now Metcalf. Fata turns around. Now Tom Kostopoulos has it for London. He shoots! Vogel kicks out the pad and puts it out to the blue line. Here's Fata. He takes a hit from Cook. Cook's coming in looking to pass. Does so. Illich could not get the shot away. Fanned on it. Now Drew Felder has it for the Windsor Spitfires just inside the London blue line. In behind the net, Rico Fata. Rico Fata almost lined up by Cook again. Got out of the way just in time. Now Illich has it. Ugrenas hits him. Spitfires putting a little bit of pressure on, but can't find anybody to pass to. Here's Kostopoulos for London. Takes it across the blue line, shoots. And that one is into the chest protector of Ron Vogel. Some hits in behind the play. This is not going to be the type of game we had last night, Jim.
No, I don't think so. I think probably for good reason. Windsor's, I think, a little frustrated with the way obviously things are going for them right now. And right there, Tom Kostopoulos got a pretty good shot away on the 2-on-2. And boy, Windsor should be as rugged before the whistle as they are after the whistle. You know, Tom was able to get off a good shot there. Really, he was allowed to just kind of walk right in. And I don't know if we can get a replay of that, but Tommy had actually a good shot on net, and then afterwards the Spitfires decided to lay the old body on him. It's a little bit too late at that point, but it stays 1-0 London as Gary Agnew tries to get things going. I'm sure he wants to see the Knights step on Windsor a bit tonight. They've got the weekend off. As you get a look at Jay Legault, who I think has just been terrific this year in all ways for the London Knights, and his play may even get him an invite to the Canadian junior team. As we found out this week, they're at least considering inviting him to their training camp in early December in Kitchener.
We're in the London end again. That's Jarl Ugrenas. Puts it around on the boards to Jeff Brown, the Knights captain right now. Richard Patiri now for London. He spins around, passes to Brown. Spiridonov ends up with it. Nifty little back pass to Jarl Ugrenas. The defenseman goes all the way into the Windsor zone and passes to Spiridonov. Now Spiridonov looking for someone to shoot to Ugrenas. Shot on net goes wide. In behind the net is Mahan. Now Legault to the blue line. Jay Legault has the puck, passes in beside the net. Patiri gets it in, and there's a Jay Legault.
Well, this is off to the same kind of start, I guess, of the game last night. London's just allowed to do everything they want. The Knights are just rolling right now. It's only 2-0, but it doesn't look like Windsor has any willingness to really compete in this game tonight. Jay Legault slides to the net, into the slot, untouched, and slides a backhand underneath the beleaguered Ron Vogel, who's just been, looks like he's just been allowed to kind of do this one himself. The Spitfires really have to wake up here. London's going to have this one over real early and in a big way. Jay Legault gets the goal, and it made it look easy for Jay Legault. That's a power play goal, and that's number 17 to give London a 2-0 lead as we're not even halfway through the first period. Shots are 8-1 in favor of the London Knights, and it's 2-0.
Approaching the 9-minute mark of this first period between the Knights and Windsor Spitfires. Out comes Jeff Brown, passes to Mike Mazuka. Mazuka puts it into the corner, and there goes Kelly after the puck out in front. Kelly takes a whack at it. Two Windsor players fell down on that play. It's out in front of the net again, and back come the Spitfires. Peter Sarno passes up on the wing. Here's Rupp. Rupp shoots, goes wide. Now Kip Brennan keeps it in for Windsor. Out in front of the nets and going nowhere except onto the stick of Chris Kelly of the London Knights. He takes it across the blue line with Mike Mazuka. To Mazuka out in front, they score!
I think that one might have gone off a Windsor player, Steve. We'll have to get a look at the replay, but it's 3-0 London. And let's see who's going to get credit for this one, but that's the way it goes when you're going well. They go in every way, and conversely, when Windsor's struggling so badly, boy, this is just awful for poor Ronnie Vogel. I feel bad for him because he's just getting stomped on there. as the Knights are just buzzing around the net, totally untouched. And this one is not pretty. Poor Ron's going to get some relief now. Not his fault, but it looks like the Windsor Spitfires are going to change goaltenders as we await the call on the goal. Michael Podolka is going to come in. He started last night's game, the Thursday night game, and he was pulled. Vogel came in later, but Mike Mazuka, I think, is going to get credit for the goal. He attempted the centering pass, and I believe it went in off a Windsor player.
I think it went in off of Kip Brennan. Actually, poor Ron Vogel had to stop the puck and Kip Brennan, who was coming his way, and Kip Brennan's about 6'5".
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. As Jason Metcalf goes to the box for London. 3-0 in favor of the Knights. 38 seconds left to go in the first period. This face-off inside the Windsor, or inside the London end. Crawford has it. Fights for it with Cadot. Here comes Mark Cadot. Knights short-handed. Not stopping Mark Cadot, though. He takes a shot on net, goes through the crease and into the corner. There's a shot by Jeff Brown. Brown's shot stopped easily by goaltender Michael Podolka. Here's Jeff Zare for Windsor. Tries to cut around Jeff Brown, can't do so. He's tied up nicely. Sarno passes to Lancashire. Lancashire into the corner to Crawford. Crawford out in front. And it's banged away by John Erskine, but not over the blue line. Lancashire gets another shot away. Dean Mando tries to pass in front of the net. And there's a shot and they score! Goal there by Peter Sarno of the Windsor Spitfires, make it a 3-1 hockey game. That is a power play goal by Sarno. As the whistle went for the end of the first period, and that goal will count. Actually, they're discussing it right now. Just inside the London blue line. Referee Dave Lynch talking to Jeff Brown. Now Zare. Here's Sarno. Sarno's tied up along the boards, falls down, and here come the London Knights. Rico Fata, Tom Kostopoulos, and Mark Cadot. To Cadot, shoots, and Cadot scores!
Well, nice bit of a lot of quickness there on the attack for the Knights, and they make it 4-1. Big goal there. They get the big goal, as you see. The Knights celebrating. Podolka's a little frustrated at this point, but the Knights working hard, and they just kept dropping it back to the oncoming player, and there always seemed to be a Knight there. Watch the way they nicely work this puck around. Fata back to Kostopoulos. Kostopoulos back to Cadot. Cadot takes the shot, and it eventually will go back to Mark as he went to the net untouched until, of course, after the puck was in the net. Then the Windsor player Hansen decided to lay a stick on him, but the Knights get a goal to make it 4-1 and breathe a little bit easier. Mark Cadot gets the goal, and for Mark Cadot, that is number 18 on the year. The Knights lead it 4-1.
All the big scorers getting the goals for the London Knights tonight. Max Spiridonov with his 19th, Jay Legault with his 17th, and that's Mark Cadot with his 18th. Also scoring for London has been Chris Kelly. And the lone goal for Windsor, Peter Sarno. Here's Alex Henry behind his own net, out in front. Covered up nicely by Jason Lang, and here come the Knights again. Di Petrillo along with Eric Pacey. Out in front of the net, it's cleared by Lancashire. Here comes Peter Reynolds. Haven't seen much of Peter Reynolds tonight. The London defenseman has it now. Peter Reynolds up along the boards. Kincaid tried to hit him and bounced to the ground, to the ice actually. And back come the Windsor Spitfires, Martin and Kincaid. Pass out in front, no one there for it. Mando tied up on the boards by Pacey. In behind the net, Windsor still in control. That's Jeff Martin, a shot and they score.
Well, I'll tell you where all this trouble started. It was way back in the Windsor zone when Eric Pacey, instead of shooting the puck in deep, watch the soft little pass in the middle of the ice there. Turnover, high in the slot, and down they come. The Knights never really get a chance to get the puck out of there, never really get a chance to get set, but Eric Pacey again, you know, he's back there trying his best to help out, but Windsor has possession of the puck all the way. Finally, Lancashire in front, but this as we saw early in that replay, Pacey with that soft little pass out into the slot area, forcing the turnover, turning the puck over instead of putting it in deep, and it ends up in a Windsor goal, 4-2 London.
Matt Elich with the goal for Windsor. No, Lancashire. Mike Lancashire gets the goal for Windsor.
London never got possession of the puck again after the turnover in the Windsor zone, high in the slot.
Here's Chris Kelly and Mike Mazuka. Mazuka winds up, fans on a shot, goes behind the net. Patiri picks it up, spins around in the corner. Now ends up on the stick of Kelly. He gets a shot away, a quick shot. Podolka handled that no problem. Now all the way down the ice again. This will be an icing call. 4-2 in favor of the Knights with 5 minutes gone in the second period. I'm Steve Matthews with Jim Van Horn at the Ice House. Want you to join us again for London Knights hockey next Friday night as we welcome the Plymouth Whalers here.
Seventh goal of the year for Mike Lancashire, and face-off back in the Windsor zone as the Knights, the Knights don't want to really see this go into a kind of a shooting contest. Spitfires, you want to put them away just for solid defense and hopefully get out of the game with minimal damage to your goals against average.
Zaire starting the rush for Windsor now. Watson with him. Zaire with a good move. He gets the shot away and they score! That's Peter Sarno. Sorry, not Peter Sarno.
Robin Boucher, I think. It's 28, I think. Yeah, it's Robin Boucher.
Robin Boucher.
And all of a sudden, it's 4-3. And this one is into the shooting gallery territory. Watch this now as it's out in front, the slot area. Man, just kind of half a step is all it takes. Puck squirts out, and Boucher bangs it home for a 4-3 hockey game now. And the Spitfires, to their credit, have not given up here in the second period. I thought when London got that 4-1 lead, we were going to have a blowout tonight when Mark Cadotte scored early in the second period, but the Spits have come back with 2 in a row, and this is the kind of game you get sloppy, and all of a sudden it's you're working it to get out of here with 9-8 or something like that. But the Knights just have to relax, tighten up. Still a 1-goal game. Can't have everybody play as individuals. Got to just stay calm.
Hadn't even noticed Boucher on the ice through the entire game until he got that goal, the rookie for the Windsor Spitfires. Great shot in perfect position, and they score! That's the Knights picking up another one. Jason Metcalf firing from the point.
Well, here we go.
What did you say about a shooting match?
Well, I want to see this one. I know Tom Kostopoulos was skating through the crease, and I don't know, I think it hit a Windsor player, but let's have a look and see if Tommy was in the crease. This one's going to come back to the point now. Ugranis keeps it in on a nice move, and to go to the middle of the ice. Metcalf, now watch Tommy, he is flying through the crease, but I don't think it did touch him, and it went in, not off of him, but he was, well, his foot wasn't in the crease, he was in the air, he was in the middle of the air, but nonetheless, no protest from the Spitfires. It's 5-3 for London.
And we'll wait for the official call on London's 5th goal of the evening. Not even midway through the second period, we have a 5-3 hockey game already. But not surprising, Jim, as we saw the score last night between the Knights and the Spitfires. And there they score again. Off a bad deflection.
Oh, this is something else. We're
going into double digits tonight.
5-4 already. Stick around, you might miss one here. Watch this. This one is Lancashire in, and it starts bouncing funny. And this is going to come back to the point. Mahan is going to take the shot at the point. And then it goes off a London player. It goes off of Tom Kostopoulos, I think, as he tried to stop it in the slot. Very bad bounce there for Gene Chirillo. Very awkward bounce. And it went off one post, off the other, and dribbled in. I don't even know who's going to get credit for it. And here we go again. Boy, get that puck out of there. Every time the puck goes near a net, you got to be nervous as a goaltender the way this game is going right now. And the Spitfires are putting pressure on again. Knights finally get possession.
Yeah, this is turning into a wide open hockey game. Richard Patiri has the puck. Chris Kelly in with him. Elich and Mazuka fight for it behind the net. Now in front. right through the crease. Padolka tried to stop it. It went into the corner. Kept in by London. Exciting hockey here at the Ice House between the Spitfires and Knights. Kelly, a shot, scores!
What's the score here? I'm losing track.
It's a basketball game, Jim.
That's 6-4 London now.
And that's Chris Kelly's second goal of the evening.
Man, we're not even, how many goals we've had? It's 6-4. We've had 6 goals here in the last 4 minutes, I think. There's Kelly, nice shot from the slot. Boy, he got that away quickly, beating Padolka to the blocker side, high to the blocker side, and the Knights go up 6-4. Chris Kelly's second goal tonight, 6th of the season, 6-4 London.
It's shot into the London end. Gene Chirillo stops it. In behind the net goes Jeff Zare. He falls down, gets up very slowly. There's a loose puck in front of the net to Rupp. They score! Gene Chirillo didn't even see that one, Jim.
He's still looking for it. He knows where it is now, but he's claiming that it went in underneath the net that was lifted off its magnets. Let's have a look at it here. See if we can catch how it goes in. Gene says it went in at the side of the net. Watch it here. He's thinking there's no way that puck went in. And he had a good look at it. The puck ended up in the net. There was no mistaking that. I don't know if we have another, I guess we don't have another angle on it, but I think it's being called a goal. They did check the net. They're brand new nets here. You can see how fresh and white they are, and they've seen a lot of pucks tonight. It was hard to catch on our replay how it exactly went in, but referee Dave Lynch is checking with
we'll try and get a replay on that again.
Checking with Jim Kovacs, the goal judge down there. I think it's Coco tonight. And he wants to know if indeed that puck went in. Let's see if we can have a look at it. Now, it appeared to be headed wide right there, but yeah, I don't know what the I don't know how that went in. It did end up in the net. Let's see what the Dave Lynch is over at the timekeeper's bench. The face-off looks like it's coming to center ice, so the Spitfires celebrate the goal, but I don't get the feeling that Lynch is all that sure. I don't think Lynch is all that sure what happened, but he just has no evidence to call it off. He did talk to goal judge Jim Kovacs, who may have had the best look at how that went in, but it's 6-5.
A close hockey game in this third period. 16 minutes left to go in the third. This one could go any way, Jim. Strange bounce here on that 5th goal by the Windsor Spitfires. They still haven't made the call on who actually scored it. Here it comes now.
55 is there. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Zare was skating through the crease at the time the puck was going by. Obviously, it went off him.
Okay, now they correct it. It's going to be Jeff Zare who picks up the goal for the Windsor Spitfires.
Just a real odd play in a real odd game. I'll tell you this, we've seen some strange ones tonight. That's 2 that went by Chirillo that really were deflections, and you know, it was really tough. I don't even think he saw them go in.
We have a 6-5 hockey game between the Knights and the Spitfires. Knights out shooting the Spitfires so far 25-23 in this game, so it's been close on almost all accounts. We've had one fight in the game. That too was a bit of a draw. Alex Henry has the puck. He loses it in his skates, manages to recover and heads up ice. He's got Kostopoulos and Fata with him. Kostopoulos does the deke, ends up on the stick of Rico Fata. He goes behind the net, spins around, and it's batted out of the sky by Derek McNamara. Kostopoulos to Fata. He's chased by Crawford and Lancashire. Fata falls down, goes to the blue line. That shot goes wide. Padolka didn't seem to see that shot at all. Now Fata again out in front of the net. And the Spitfires lifted all the way down the ice. And this will be an icing call with 15 minutes left in the third period.
Knights getting some pressure on there. The Rico Fata line, Mark Cadot buzzing around, creating havoc. Watch this here, Fata behind the net. He's tough to stop when he gets going. Puck batted out of midair by McNamara there. Nice little volleyball spike.
Good work on the cameras and in the truck tonight. Should mention that London Knights Hockey on Rogers Community TV is brought to you mostly by volunteer talent. And they do an excellent job. Andy Fleming and Lawrence Sibner in the truck tonight running things. Now we're buzzing around the London net. 6-5 hockey game in favor of the Knights. Richard Patiri has the puck, and he's heading down ice. The pass goes up into the Windsor bench.
Well, things are tight now. This was a game that looked like the Knights were going to walk away with a 3-0 lead early, a 3-0 lead before the halfway point of the first period. Change of goaltenders, Ron Vogel out and Michael Podolka in. Then the Spits started their long climb back. It was 4-1 London early in the third, but right now a one-goal hockey game, 6-5, as the Knights try and put this one away.
There's one of our camera guys down there, one of the volunteers. I think that's Bruno. Hi, Bruno. Boucher shoots it in for Windsor. Alex Henry goes back for it. He's hit by Jeff Zare. Windsor can smell victory here if they can just put some pressure on. A little bit closer than it was last night at this time in Windsor. Boucher puts it back in again for Windsor. It's stopped by Cirillo. Shoots it around the boards, goes to the blue line to Hansen. He gets it on net, a weak shot. Steered to the side by Cirillo. Barch has his man Zare tied up, and Jay Legault has the puck now. He passes to Spiridonov, but Lancashire breaks that pass up. Now Barch has it for London. He goes across the blue line. Passes in front, but nobody there for London. And another puck up into the crowd.
I really think what's happened here tonight is the Knights got up 3-0 early and got thinking about the offensive numbers. It tends to happen, and everybody thinks about piling up 4 or 5 points, and you lose a little bit of focus, and as a result, you get a team like Windsor. They fought back, and now they are allowed to make it a hockey game. But they didn't put them away when they had the chances early in this game. And now it's anyone's ball game, as you said. The 6-5 is the score. See the shot of the Windsor bench.
Two number 18s taking that face-off, Sarno and Patiri. And another one up into the crowd, Jim. A big crowd here. We still haven't got the numbers on it, but well over 4,000 at the Ice House for this game. And that is respectable for this time of year for the London Knights.
I would say so.
Oh, we just lost 2.
Maybe checking the lotto ticket. I don't know.
Maybe
they're millionaires.
50-50 winner. Kip Brennan and Craig Mahan. Now Matt Cook. Nobody's looking too organized out there right now. Dean Mando tries to pass.
Richard Patiri, always the responsible one, was the forward that was hanging in the neutral zone as the other two were in forechecking. Patiri's just a good, solid citizen out there. He's a guy that will always give you an honest effort. Number 18 just going off now. Now the Fata line comes out. Dean Mando there's been one of the better Spitfires tonight.
Something about the Windsor Spitfires and the DJs. They had the DJ Smith, the DJ Mando. DJ Smith went off to the Maple Leafs organization. I think he's playing on the Rock now, is he not?
Yes, he is.
Managed to play a few games for the Maple Leafs last year and looked pretty good.
Rico Fata being watched closely by several scouts tonight, of course, as always. Saw Jimmy Devellano in the crowd tonight from the Red Wings. vice president. He occasionally makes the trip here. I'm sure he's watching Rico pretty closely.
In behind the Windsor net, Padolka stops it. It goes all the way around the glass and down the boards, and we'll have another icing call as Jason Metcalf touches the puck for London. 6-5 in favor of the Knights. Just over 12 minutes left to go in this third period. Steve Matthews and Jim Van Horn at the Ice House, as usual on a Friday night.
Jason Metcalf's had a solid season for the Knights. He gives them that real physical element on the blue line. One of the penalty leaders in the OHL. Now, look at 95 minutes for Jason. I got to show you the penalty leaders. I never heard of this guy from Belleville, Jason Lawmaster. That's a perfect guy to be up
for
in
an
the
enforcer.
In enforcer, Lawmaster.
I'm master of this joint and the law that goes with it. London putting some pressure on now in the Windsor end. Kostopoulos fights for it with Hansen. That's Cadot. Little Mark Cadot, he's fighting for it too. Feisty Mark Cadot. And now it ends up on the stick of Jeff Martin to Jeff Zare. Jarl Ugranis keeps it in. Rico Fata wanted a piece of that but couldn't get it. Stopped at the line by Kostopoulos, and now Fata has it. Here comes
Knights
Rico Fata. Knights buzzing in front. Kostopoulos tried to get it, and it's shot all the way down the ice again. This will be another icing call as Metcalf touches it for London.
Knights certainly were buzzing. Nice pinch in by Jarl Ugranis to keep the puck in. Then again, some pressure by Cadot and Fata. Always dangerous. And next goal, I think, is probably going to, well, have a good chance of winning this hockey game. It's a one-goal game in favor of the Knights now. I think if they go up by 2, they'll take it home. Anything can happen, I suppose. If the Spits score the next one. Good shot of the Ice House tonight, which has seen a lot of people the last couple of weeks. 42.95 is our crowd tonight. 42.95. Some of them doing the wave right now. I thought that had passed, but apparently not. Always a new generation of waivers coming along.
Would that be new waivers?
New waivers. 42.95. Good crowd.
There's a shot. Padolka gets a piece of that and pushes it to the side. Max Spiridonov tries to stop it for London. Now Metcalf shoots from the point and stays or ends up with the puck. He's looking for Matt Elich, who is on his way for a breakaway. But it would have been a 2-line pass and offside anyhow, so Elich decides not to touch it. And we get another face-off in the Windsor end. Shots on net so far in this game, 27-24 in favor of the Knights. The Knights out in front by 1 goal. It's 6-5.
Alex Henry, the solid blue liner, will be important in the second half of this year and in the playoffs. He's the kind of guy, you know, a big physical force back there who you really need in the playoffs. Not to beat anybody up by any means, but just to, you know, to handle the rigors of 5 games and 7 nights in playoff hockey.
You were mentioning the scouts that have been checking out the Knights lately. A lot of London Knights up for their draft year this year, and Alex Henry would be someone I'd be looking at if I were a scout. Definitely got the size.
We've seen some exciting finishes this year, Steve. We've had the Ottawa game where the 67 scored a couple in the last 30 seconds, I believe it was.
That's right.
40 seconds to get a victory with Richard Patiri's goal last week against St. Mike's that gave the Knights a 4-3 win with just 9 seconds to go.
Yeah, some great hockey at the Ice House this year.
This one's going down to the wire tonight, it looks like.
Lancashire keeps it in for Windsor. Or are they going to call it offside? Looked like it was inside, but the linesman said no, it came out a bit. So we'll do a face-off just outside the London blue line.
Let's see if it does stay in here. It's going to come around back to the blue line. 47, Lancashire's going to play it right at the blue line eventually. Here it comes. And, well, looks like he kept it into me. But I didn't make up the rules.
Sarno and Patiri, the 2 number 18s on the ice, take this face off. Lancashire ends up with it, and he shoots it into the corner, looks for the good rebound. John Erskine ends up with it. Cook tried to hit him, but you don't knock down someone the size of John Erskine that easily. There's a shot. Padolka had trouble with it. It's loose in front of the net.
He doesn't know where it is.
And Mando puts his glove on top of it and freezes the puck. Padolka didn't even see that one, Jim.
No, he was looking around for it. I don't even know if it hit him. I think it hit a Spitfire player in front. Mando saw it and went down and covered it up for the face-off to come to the left of Michael Padolka. The Knights claiming that he should have been penalized. Dean Mando, the Spitfire captain right there, number 19. A frustrating season, I'm sure, for him, despite the number 16 points in 21 games, but I'm sure he expected better things, as many did from the Spitfires this year. There's Dave Perpich, one of the great guys around. I'll tell you, this guy, he's a class act. Dave Perpich, one of the real fine gentlemen that the OHL has had an experience with. He's a high school teacher down in Windsor. Just kind of fills in whenever the Spits need somebody. And a real good guy.
He is their interim coach right now, but they're talking about 2 permanent replacements, one of them being Mike Krushel-Niski, and the other one is Paul Theriault.
Whoa.
There's a big chance for Windsor.
Post.
Off the post, and back come the Knights. Here's Rico Fata with a breakaway. Fata in front, he shoots, and too high. Fata had Padolka pulled, and he shot it over top the net. Just over 5 minutes left to go in the third period between the Knights and Spitfires, 6-5 London.
Big chance at both ends, one off the post and one just over the net, over an empty net.
Zaire to Kip Brennan. Kip Brennan shoots it to center. Now it's lost to Mark Cadot. He just dumps it into the corner. Knowing that his teammates weren't with him, he just did what he could with it. And here comes Elich. Matt Elich all the way from end to end. He'll try and go in front of the net. He passes out in front. It's loose. Someone kicked it or gloved it, and it went to the side of the net. There's a shot. Where is it? High, high in the sky. Spiridonov knocked over it by Elich. Rough stuff in behind the play. Now Barch has it in the Windsor end. And he's taken into the boards by Lankshear. Legault trying to help out. Tried to get back to the point, but stays are intercepted. Now Lankshear has it for Windsor. Alex Henry out to Jay Legault, one-on-one. Over to Max Spiridonov. Spiridonov shoots, goes off a skate and into the corner. McNamara's skate. Now Legault. And here's Glenn Crawford again. Dump it all the way down the ice, and this will be an icing call when Alex Henry touches it. Wow, Jim. We got sticks all over the ice.
Oh boy,
They got exciting play from end to end.
This is unbelievable. You know, you don't know how the puck stayed out of the net on 2 consecutive chances. First of all, here's the Spitfire chance. We're gonna have a look at it. Somehow this one goes off the post right there and stays out. What a chance there for the Windsor Spitfires. It's gonna come right back down the other end. A Spitfire defenseman fell, springing loose. Rico Fata makes the move, makes the great move, can't get the puck to behave, shoots it about a foot over top of the net. What a sequence that was. Rico again showing the speed.
Like I said earlier,
some
Jimmy,
nights you wonder why he doesn't get 5.
Rico should have more goals than he does. Here's the Knights putting pressure on in the Windsor end again, but it goes all the way down the ice. Peter Sarno tried to go through the defense and fell down, looked for the penalty. Referee said no way. Kip Brennan now goes after it for Windsor. He's chased by Kelly. Kelly. Now Erskine to Pacey. Eric Pacey stops, looks for someone to pass to, can't find him. Jeff Brown stops it at the blue line. Oh, Chris Kelly almost in position to get a great shot away, but he couldn't handle the puck. Windsor in control again. That's Kevin Hansen shooting it from end to end. Erskine will touch it for another icing call with 3:05 left to go in the third period. We've got a 1-goal hockey game, 6-5 in favor of the Knights.
Yeah, it's tense now. Short shifts, 3:05 to go, as you can see, and all the crowd's still here, or pretty much still here. Everybody's kind of hanging in around and seeing what happens. 4,295 tonight to watch this one. And they've seen a pretty good hockey game. The Knights have dominated in stretches, but Windsor just keeps hanging in there and have it a 1-goal game with 3 minutes to go.
Face off in the Windsor end. Cadot keeps it in. Here's Rico Fata in front. Shoots! Oh, dribbles wide to score! That's Tom Kostopoulos! Makes it 7-5.
Well, Rico Fata created that one as he, with his speed, got into the center ice area. Hey, there's Klaus Anderson getting a nice shot of this one. Watch Rico now. Rico will take the shot on goal. Podolka the save, and then Kostopoulos hungry for that puck. Watch him reach and just beat Podolka to the puck for a insurance goal that gives the Knights a 2-goal lead here. 2:58 to go. Tom Kostopoulos, guy who always gives you an honest effort, gets his 8th of the season.
Tom Kostopoulos had an excellent game last week against St. Mike's, and he comes through the hero again tonight with just 3 minutes left to go. Puts the Knights ahead 7-5.
On the goal scored by number 29 is 8th goal of the season, Tom Kostopoulos. Assisted by number 77, Mark Cadell, and number 96, Rico Fata.
But the Windsor Spitfires not giving up at all here. Still trying to put pressure on in the closing moments of this third period. That's Zaire. He takes a shot at Kostopoulos. Zaire and Kostopoulos look at each other. The frustration starting to boil over, Jim. You were talking about Zaire being a little instigator earlier, and he's trying to get something going in these final moments.
Watch Kostopoulos take a run at him here. Tommy's a rock, and he drifts him into the boards there. Nothing really wrong with that. Nothing dirty about it. Zaire didn't like it just the same, and let Kostopoulos know.
Lots of goals. 9-4 last night in Windsor, 7-5 right now here in London.
Think about a couple of saves that man made midway through the third period. Couple of big saves, one on a Windsor power play that kept it a 1-goal game.
Lancashire has it for Windsor, passes to Stazer. Stazer can't handle it. Metcalf lifts it over the blue line to Spiridonov. Spiridonov shoots in. Here's Barch. Now to Spiridonov out in front. He's knocked down from behind. The referee won't call it. Stazer passes to Illich. Matt Illich can't get it in, and it's out over the blue line again. 2 minutes left to go in the third period. 7-5 Knights. Lancashire around on the boards. Stopped by Barch. Spiridonov out in front. Now to the blue line. Jeff Brown comes in. In front. Oh, that was so close.
All he had to do is direct it. Yeah.
There's another shot. Spiridonov waiting for it on the doorstep.
He almost tipped that one in.
Here's Brown again in front. They score! That was Chris Barch.
8-5 London now. Jeff Brown just kind of flipped that one in towards the net. I don't think Barch got a piece of it. He waved at it right there. Maybe he did. Chris Barch right in front. Let's see if we can't. Yeah, I think he definitely touched it. Yes, sir, and it was below the shoulders. Stick definitely. What a great shot there by the camera crew. Once again, Johnny on the spot. And Chris Barch continues his fine play, getting a goal to make it 8-5. And for Chris Barch, number 5 on the year. And London's home and cooled out now with a 3-goal lead, minute and a half to go, minute 38.
And the fans start to empty out of the ice house. They know the victory is in hand with a minute 38 left to go in the third period.
Chris Barch.
8-5 Knights.
Another goal.
Here's Lang. Lang shoots wide. Mando, he's stopped at the blue line. Nope. Went around his check. Alex Henry. And London's just going to keep dumping it back in. Hold on for the win. Now to Peter Reynolds. Haven't seen a lot of Peter Reynolds on the ice tonight. He's out there right now. Lang, Reynolds. Mike DiPetrillo falls down, but swats it in over the blue line anyhow.
Well, Brown gets the official announcement from Spiridonov, but we saw in that replay, there's no doubt Barch touched that puck. I thought anyway.
So Jeff Brown will take the last goal.
But if you're Chris
Barch,
a rookie third-round pick, you don't want to take a goal away from a veteran by saying I touched it.
Exactly.
I guess it's the pecking order of the OHL at work there, maybe.
There's Kelly shooting it down with 35 seconds left to go in the third period.
But good play by Brown anyway. He kept the puck in about 3 different times and got good chances, good shots on net. Finally, it paid off for him.
You know, one stat about Jeff Brown that we haven't mentioned tonight, he is third in the OHL in plus minus, a plus 18, believe it or not. He leads the Knights.
Well, this was a real difference from last year, and you know, Brown's got a lot more confidence this year and a real leader on that team, playing the captain's role while Jim Moss is away, and he is one of the dependables there for Gary Agnew.
Jim Moss not really away. He's been hanging over our head all night tonight, eating nachos, dripped a little cheese on your shoulder. You haven't seen that yet, Jim.
Oh, God.
And he was also doing his homework on his laptop earlier. He'll be back in December, hopefully. Mahan has it. 20 seconds left to go. Easy stop on Cirillo, for Cirillo. And around on the boards by Ugranis. Windsor still not giving up, though. Trying to keep the pressure on in the closing seconds. 5 seconds left to go. Patiri shoots all the way down the ice. Podolka will stop it. And that one is in the books. A win for the London Knights. Jason Metcalf is going over after somebody. And he's jumped on by, looks like, Robin Boucher. Here we go. Here's Erskine. Erskine and Kip Brennan going at it again. This is a rematch from the first period. Game's over, but they're going to go for it.
There's two big fellas right there.
Yeah.
They're just swinging. Those are shots. Those are bombs right there, folks.
I'm glad I'm up here. And the linesmen jump in and the guys say, "Thank you very much. I was tired anyhow."